Welcome to the first episode of Pro Tips. In many tournaments we talk about either fast playing conditions or slow playing conditions. In the recently concluded European Mixed Team Championships, the playing conditions were really slow. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 pro tips so you can do better when playing doubles in slow playing conditions. The 3 pro tips in this episode is concerning the attack, the defense, and the returns when playing doubles in slow playing conditions. So, the first pro tip is regarding the defense in doubles. So we have the opponent's attackers in black here, whilst we are the green, and we're defending the oval, as you can see here in the picture. The attackers in normal or fast playing conditions, they can attack on pretty much everything within the green area here, as long as it's a bit above tape level. The problem now is that now we change from normal playing conditions or slow or fast playing conditions to slow playing conditions, and there you cannot, in my opinion, attack from the same area. You have to limit the green area where you can attack and expect to win the rally within 2-3 shots. The area where that can be done from is much smaller in slow playing conditions. So that means that our goal is to try and get the attackers to make bad decisions and attack from the red area here, where it's much less likely that they will be able to turn the attack into an actual rally win. So we want them to attack, but from the red area, and we want to push forward our defense. So we stand a little bit closer to the net. It might be only a shoe size or half a shoe size, but we want to get closer to the net. We basically also want to have a better racket position, which is upwards, so that we can return shots with a more aggressive defense. So instead of being in the back position, now we're a bit further up. We give ourselves better opportunities, and what we want to do is we hope that we can get the attackers to play weak shots so that we can reply with flat defense shots past the front court player. So that's pro tip number 1, push the defense forward. Tip number 2 for playing doubles in slow playing conditions is about the attack. Our attack, how do we give ourselves the best chances possible for converting our attack into an actual point? So the setup here is the opponents in defense, player X and Y, whilst we, the green players, player A and B, we are attacking. Now note that we are attacking from the attack zone and not from the further back of the court, because that's simply going to be too dangerous in slow playing conditions. Now we're attacking to win, and player A has several options in the smashing situation. Player A can target the opponent's player X on either side of the body, and player A also can go for the middle. In between the two players, there's 3 different arrows, because we want to explore when player X and Y gets in doubt as to who is to make the defensive reply. Also, player A can go totally cross and target player Y in the attack, and depending on what player A chooses, then of course player B has to adjust the positioning accordingly, so that there's a good chance of following up, and eventually within 1 or 2 shots after the initial smash, we can hopefully convert the attack to a point. Now we got to have a plan if we are put in the build zone as well. And if we find ourselves in the build zone, then we have to target other areas and select other shots. So we could select a downward shot that stops in front of the 2 defenders, so it makes it difficult for them we would like it to be a steep shot in front of them. That makes it really, really difficult for them to control the length of their defense. And we hope, of course, that the reply would go to the attacking zone. We could also play, or we should variate a lot. So we could play the back line with attacking clears, actually, in order to move the defenders X and Y out of position, as well as drop shots to the green squares close to the net, so that we totally become unpredictable in our attack, and hope that eventually there will be a weak reply from the defenders, and we can go in and set in with our attack. And due to playing with lots of variation, we should be able to convert our initiative to a win in the rally. So pro tip number 2, make sure you use a lot of variation in your attack when you have the initiative, and also be aware whether you're in the attack zone or the build zone. Pro tip number 3 is about the returns, especially the return on low service. So the setup here is a normal service situation. Our opponent's in black serving, and we're returning from the green positions. Now what I want you to do is to go much harder on the low serves. Try to reach them as fast as possible and use all your attention on getting to the low serve as fast as possible. Remember, this is slow playing conditions. There's a good chance that the opponents could flick, but in my opinion it would be a big mistake unless the flick is very poor and very short to try and attack on it. It would leave us vulnerable for counter-attacking. So whenever there's a flick, we would just play it below the tape, or perhaps even try and put it on the back line of the opponents. So that's why we should really focus our attention on reaching the low serve high. Our goal here could be to put pressure on the backhand side of our opponents. It would be flat pushes, quick, fast-paced shots, so that the opponents might be inclined to play back flat at us again. Certainly not lifting. We don't want them to lift, because then at the back of the court we really don't have that much of an advantage, and we're looking to score some easy points in the service situation. We could also push towards the opponent's forehand side. Here from the backhand side we cover the white area. When we push to the opponent's forehand side, the yellow area, we cover the gray area here. So as you can see, we're trying to get the opponent to play this attacking area on the front of the court by playing flat pushes on the service return and being ready to overcover a flat reply. We want to take away time from the opponent so they play weak replies, and we can score some quick and easy points from the front court. So pro tip number 3 is go hard on the low service returns and be ready to follow up on the front court in the attacking area. Work together as partners and be ready with your racket at least top of the tape level high. So here's a summary of the pro tips in this first episode for playing doubles in slow playing conditions. Number 1, push the defense forward so we can gain an advantage and see if we can score some relatively easy points in the transition phase. Number 2, use extreme variation in your own attack and don't give the opponents opportunity of counter-attacking and scoring easy points against you. Number 3, go all in the low service return situation. See if you can get the opponents to play a weak reply to the front court. There's some easy points to be made there. Now, if you like the pro tips in this episode, then please consider a subscription to the channel. Give us a like, and also in the comments, let me know what kind of pro tips you would like to see in the future. That's all for now. Enjoy on the court. Bye.